Hey, here we are once again. This time presenting the probably rarest comic well, that I guess I own, since I only have two series that I'm really keeping up with. But this one again is concerning Bionicle. Now, during the last series, you guys definitely saw this one right here. I think I'll remove this just so you guys can see the whole cover, which of course is Bionicle #1, released of June 2001, which is kind of rare in its own right, but definitely not the rarest one that I have with me today. Now, later on, a couple of years down the road, while Bionicle was emerging greatly from popularity, um, the movie The Mask of Light was coming out. And during that time, as a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, um, this particular issue was released in July of 2003, just a little bit more than 2 years after the original comic had come out. And as you can see, there is a pretty vast difference between this one and the last one I just showed you, mainly with the cover art. Now, the DC tag is still on there for us. The Lego tag is still there, but really small. And no Technic next to it either. Um, During the early years, I think Lego was really trying to make sure that Bionicle was tagged to the Technic series, just to show that it wasn't, a purely Lego idea, or they weren't really willing to put all their bets behind it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, everything else is more or less the same about the issue. It's just about, Kopaka, learning of the masks of power and going on to, find his own after meeting his friend Pohatu along the way, which of course is on the cover, both of them. Pohatu, very hard to see compared to the other Toa in this particular art. An art that I believe was done by an Ashley Wood. Now, I can't really confirm that, but this San Diego Comic Con art or collector's edition art was done by an Ashley Wood, at least according to Biosector. There's no citation there, so I actually don't know if that's the actual artist who went ahead and done that, but I'm going to assume that it definitely is because I have nothing else telling me otherwise. But yeah, so this was a promotional comic, I guess, that they did for the Comic Con there for us. And, it's not unusual to find exclusive Comic Con covers. Naturally, because this one is a little bit more valuable than, uh, the original one I just showed you, #1 of the series. This one is in a Mylar container and actually boarded as well. It probably doesn't need to be inside the Mylar, which I found out really quickly because I've been using Scotch tape to seal these up. I don't know how well you guys see that, but it turns out Scotch tape really loves sticking to the Mylar very well. So, I had to actually use a knife to go ahead and reopen this. I went ahead and reboxed it after initially getting it there for us, or boarded it rather, just because I didn't want to do anything with it, but I decided I'd better take it out for this video just to get it out there for all of us. Now, I'll keep the board where it's at, and you can see my hands are like shaking trying to handle this. Probably the most expensive comic I have in my collection today still. But yeah, you get a little bit better look of the art at front for it, something that is truly unique. I mean, throughout the entire series, because you don't really see this sort of art, maybe kind of abstracty inside of the rest of the series or anything like that. And just taking a quick glance at some of the edges here, or even in the spine, if we're going to take a look at it. Now, there is some breaking in the color of the spine, but overall, it is generally well put together. And I'm actually amazed I got this for the price that I did. And here's the back of it, of course, promoting the film that is coming out here very soon. September of 16th of that year, I believe. Most people were able to get their hands on it much earlier than that. Certainly my brother and I were during that time. But yeah, comic books, or rather, maybe not the comics, but Bionicle in general, was exploding in popularity during the time. So I guess they felt it necessary to go ahead and release an exclusive cover for the San Diego Comic Con of that year, more than a couple of years later from that point. Now, again, I'm really surprised at the quality that this came in. Um, I mean, given the price, I was hoping for the best. This isn't the best, but certainly maybe good enough to get, um, slabbed or graded by, one of the companies out there that does it for us. And I would not mind doing that whatsoever, um, given the rarity of the comic. Now, I know some of these are circulating with signatures from Greg Farsty himself, who I guess was over there and signed a couple of these himself. I've not really found one that I wanted to buy there, and I'm not sure I ever will, simply because I can't really test the authenticity of a signature from Greg Farsty, mostly because I've never seen his signature. It doesn't seem to be circulating online as much as the signature copied of this, which I'm sure maybe somebody picked up at Comic Con and maybe he was there, or I don't know, maybe they even raided his house or something like that. You could tell me. Um, but essentially, this is, I believe, probably the hardest Bionicle comic to come across that isn't like promotional, coming out of a Lunchables bag or out of like, some sort of McDonald's promotion, like the Challenge of the Rahi, um, which I actually don't have, but I can get my hands on very easily. And certainly the value of that is nowhere compared to this unique copy right here. Now, I think the most stunning thing about it is definitely just the change of the art itself, here on the cover. I have not opened this thing. I'm too afraid to, really, but maybe, there's been some changes in the names inside the book. I mean, there was the whole Maori lawsuit that happened with Lego, and the Maori peoples, which, a lot of names and things were taken from, to be used in Bionicle. So I don't know if any of those have been changed, but certainly this is a different one. It's obviously a couple of years later, arriving summer 20 or 2001 is not present here. So those were the first printings of the first issue there for us, or the Six Heroes, One Destiny logo, as you saw in the other one. Again, I could just bring out the other one very quickly just to show you again, which was this original art here with the infected Hal in the background. Um, but in any case, um, easily, like I said, the rarest one there for us. I guess I had the Mylar on top of that. That's probably why you guys weren't seeing it as well as you should have there. But you notice no price tag on this one, no barcode or anything like that for it, though I don't think any of the ones had barcodes for them. Uh, but this right here, definitely a very valuable member of my collection, and I do plan on keeping it, certainly for as long as I live. And at the very least, maybe some way down the road, getting it slabbed and graded, just so it is there for us. You know, I just realized it did say that on there. But you see, it goes to show how much I'm paying attention there. I barely look at this thing. I want to keep it away from light. But once it's slabbed and graded, maybe it'd be a good time to go ahead and get a little bit more in depth there for us, as far as me reviewing it, including if some of the names inside have been changed around there. But yeah, just want to include this. It's not really part of the series where I go through the entire inventory of the comics themselves, just because of its value. Plus, I didn't get to a little bit after I, initially started those there for us. So, yeah, this is it. Bionicle issue 1 reprint, or San Diego Comic Con exclusive, or in this case, I think they're just calling it a collector's exclusive, or cover art for it. And again, I believe the credit goes to Ashley Wood for this cover art here for us. Certainly wasn't Deanda or Bendit that did this one. So I guess that's more or less all I really have to say. I was really impressed I got this for the price that I did. And yeah, I do plan on keeping it for a long time. Maybe if I ever find out how to uh, find out the authenticity of Greg Farsty's signature, I'll try picking up one of those ones in circulation that do have his signature running across it for a year. But The only other comic, I guess, that might be rarer than this, just to go off on a tangent here at the very end, is that there is a variant cover for issue number 4, which I believe was also kind of like a Bionicle promotional one. That one is really hard to find, and I did try looking. I'm not actually sure it's out there, but I'll keep looking, and if ever I do get that one, I'll go ahead and update this whole series again. I still need to get some of the copies that I am looking to improve. If you recall in the last series, I was using these yellow sticky notes to kind of show which books I wanted to get an extra copy of, hopefully of a finer quality than one that I already own. But yeah, anyways, we're past 10 minutes here. I don't want to keep ranting on, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video.